Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, and fellow Toastmasters, our guests, former Toastmasters, soon-to-be Toastmasters. Nice to have you all here. You know, there is a saying in entertainment that you never follow dogs and children doing your act because they steal it from you. And I think I'm going to translate that as you shouldn't follow Cheryl Rausch as a speaker because she's going to steal the stage. However, I will attempt some fortitude today and jump in because this is an important topic outside of the box, that is outside of the Toastmaster box. And how does Toastmasters help you develop transferable skills that you take into your business, into your life, into your personal relationships? Let me give you an example. Have you ever been drafted to lead a meeting? You know, Cheryl talked about when she was called for a keynote presentation with 2 weeks. Well, I've been called to jump into leadership meetings, leadership of meetings for situations that were completely unique. For instance, I showed up to a board of directors once to a publishing organization. I was the vice president, and there was a very important discussion coming up. And what do you know? The president wasn't there. Who's going to lead the meeting? Well, with transferable skills, I was able to jump in. It was a very touchy meeting, but actually through the meeting leadership and the communication manuals, I had practice leading a group discussion, and it came out very successfully. So that's a transferable skills. I was drafted, but I had the skills because of Toastmasters. Let's just look a minute and see Toastmaster Club mission statement, because this really drives our transferable skills. Toastmasters provides a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. That's very important. There's some very enabling words in here, some words that drive that. Supportive and positive learning experience. That's all part of what we learn. Members are empowered. We are not taught, we are empowered, and we develop communication and leadership skills. And the key thing here is greater self-confidence and personal growth. Those are invaluable because what you learn in Toastmasters doesn't stay in Toastmasters. It's not like Las Vegas. What you learn in Toastmasters transfers to everything you do. Very quickly, a transferable skill is the ability or expertise which may be used in a variety of roles. For instance, we learn communication, problem solving, poise, self-confidence, and control in Toastmasters, and that is not domain specific, meaning what you learn there isn't specific to Toastmasters. It really transfers across everything you do. Well, what do you learn as Toastmasters? And more importantly is how do you develop those skills? You learn skills through speaking, through evaluating, through attending meetings, and through club mentoring and being an officer. Through speaking, what do we learn? We learn self-confidence. Most people have a fear of public speaking. It is a very deathly fear because it debilitates. But once you overcome that fear, you can overcome many fears. We learn self-confidence. Through speaking, we learn how to organize a speech and make a point. What is your point? What are you trying to say? Cheryl said, start from the back and work your way forward. What point are you trying to make and build on it? We learn how to do that. Today, for instance, and we learn multimedia skills, presentation skills. You've seen a variety of on-screen presentations here today. Most of them have been honed and learned through Voyagers. And I've seen so many people over the last 2 years just get better and better at it because of their practicing. And we learn what? Fortitude, the word of the day. We learn how to stick to it and persevere. Through evaluating, what do we learn? We learn critical thinking. We learn how to grade and judge. For instance, we learn through our contests, for instance, how to grade a variety of presenters, and so that we can judge who was the best presenter and present that. We did this, as a matter of fact, a number of Toastmasters were judging a competition for young engineers and software engineers. And Mark Shapiro was part of that, and a few other Toastmasters. And I think everybody who wasn't a Toastmaster was at a loss. But having been a judge at a contest, we were able to organize it in a way where we could give a consensus opinion of who we thought was the best presenter. And that came as a result of the contest judging we've done in Toastmasters. We learn effective feedback. We don't call it critical. We don't call it positive criticism or constructive criticism. It is effective feedback. One of the most important aspects of effective feedback that we learn is we want somebody to feel like they can do it again. We want to encourage them by our feedback to say, you did this very well, and you can even do it better if you will work on these aspects of your speaking. Because the most important part of feedback is evaluating someone so that they want to continue doing what you've evaluated. That directly relates to any position you're in, whether you're a paid employee, whether you're an entrepreneur. You need to give people feedback so you motivate them. And we learn impromptu thinking, analysis, and speaking. You have to be able to evaluate a speech, evaluate a presentation immediately. And you develop an evaluation framework, I like to call it, where you can use that and apply it to a specific situation. What do we learn as a member and officer skills? We learn networking. And networking, the most important part of networking I found is when I network with people I work with, meaning I'm on a board of directors or I'm on a committee. Those people learn to respect your skills, and that is a very effective way to learn, but also a very effective way to gain business. I've gained business through Toastmasters. I've worked with people here. I've worked with a number of people on actual paid positions. I've actually given business to people here. I bought my house. I sold my house. I bought a car. It's all through Toastmasters and people I knew and trusted. You learn how to lead. You learn how to budget. You know, this club has to pay the bills, and we learn how to do that very effectively through Toastmasters, and we learn from others. Look at what we learned today, a number of things through our speaking and through listening, even through table topics. I learned about Salvadorian food. So let's get started. Let Voyagers help you develop speaking, thinking, and listening skills that help you as a startup, help you as an entrepreneur, help you as a manager, help you as a leader. And the way to get started, as Walt Disney says, quit talking and begin. Join us. Walt Disney didn't say join us, but I added that. Mr. Toastmaster,